It all started one late summer evening when rumors started buzzing around about a family moving into the penthouse suite on the top floor. The building itself was one of those ancient structures that looked like it belonged in a horror movie, with creaky stairs and flickering lights that seemed to have a mind of their own. I was 16 at the time, just hanging out with my buddies Jake and Sarah, trying to find something to do to kill the boredom. That's when we heard the whispers about the new family. Of course, being the adventurous types, or maybe just plain nosy, we decided to check it out. The staircase leading up to the top floor seemed longer and steeper than usual that night. Each step echoed ominously, like we were trespassing into forbidden territory. Sarah kept nervously glancing back, half expecting to see something lurking in the shadows behind us. Jake, on the other hand, was all bravado, making jokes to lighten the mood. When we finally reached the top floor, we were greeted by a hallway that seemed frozen in time. The walls were adorned with faded wallpaper, peeling at the edges, and the floorboards creaked beneath our feet. The air up there felt colder, heavier, like a storm was brewing just out of sight. We located the apartment rumored to house the new family. It stood at the end of the hallway, a heavy wooden door with a tarnished brass knocker. The whispers grew louder as we approached, unintelligible murmurs that seemed to dance on the edge of comprehension. Goosebumps prickled on my arms, and I hesitated, my hand hovering over the door. Sarah shot a glance at Jake, who shrugged nonchalantly and rapped the knocker against the door. The sound reverberated down the hallway, echoing off the walls in an eerie cadence. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the whispers inside the apartment ceased abruptly. The door creaked open slowly, revealing a sliver of darkness beyond. We exchanged nervous glances, unsure of what to expect. I took a tentative step forward, peering into the dimly lit interior. The apartment appeared deserted, furniture draped in dusty sheets like ghosts of a forgotten time. But then, movement caught my eye, a flicker of shadow in the corner of the room. My heart skipped a beat as I strained to see through the darkness. Shapes shifted, indistinct and unsettling. I could have sworn I heard footsteps, soft and deliberate, pacing the room in a rhythm that sent chills down my spine. Before I could make sense of what I was seeing, a gust of cold wind swept through the hallway, slamming the door shut with a resounding bang. I stumbled back, heart pounding in my chest, while Sarah let out a startled cry. Jake, ever the brave soul, reached for the doorknob, but it refused to budge. It was as if the apartment had swallowed us whole, cutting us off from the world outside. We didn't stick around to investigate further. Instead, we sprinted back down the stairs, our footsteps echoing loudly in the empty building. Once we were safely outside, we collapsed on the curb, gasping for breath and trying to make sense of what had just happened. The next day, we tried asking around about the new neighbors, but no one seemed to know anything concrete. Some said they had seen shadows moving behind closed curtains late at night, while others claimed the apartment had been vacant for years before the new family supposedly moved in. As weeks passed, the incident became a distant memory, overshadowed by the bustle of daily life. But every now and then, when I find myself near that old apartment building, I can't help but glance up at the top floor. I wonder about those whispers, those shadows, and the mystery that still lingers behind that heavy wooden door.